Day 4 Coastal Truck Driving School. Woke up early in the morning and we get some exercise. Exercise is really important in this field of work to keep the mind, the body, and the spirit in order. What's up, YouTube? Day 4 Truck Driving School. I'm gonna let you guys know it was slower than usual. It was a very long day. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to let you guys know how I passed the CDL Class A permit test on the very first try. So, like I said, it was a slow day. What happened was we passed our test yesterday and got our permits, which was actually, we passed the test early. We were supposed to take it on Thursday, but it was Veterans Day, so this DMVs were closed. So what happened was they pushed it a day forward, which was actually our third day of school. So we took the test, and out of 9 of us, 3 of us passed the test and got our permit. So I'm gonna give you some tips which helped me and can possibly help you. The first thing, in not any particular order, is the mindset. I came to school with the mindset of I don't know nothing about this because it's a new field for me. Like, I don't know nothing about it. So I did study a little bit before I got to school, but that's not to say that I'm coming to school as a know-it-all. So the very first thing that I made sure that I done when I stepped foot into the classroom, very first day, was got a seat at the very front of the class, right in front of the teacher, about as close as I am to you. Sat right there in the front, boom. Why? Because some people have different ways of learning, audio, visual, hands-on, whatever. But me, I like to incorporate all the learning into one. So I sat right in front of the class so I can have my eyes on and I can hear. And if anything came up, I'll be the first to raise my hand to volunteer to do any hands-on work. So with that being said, as I'm sitting in the front of the class, my audio, I listen to every word that the teacher has said and watch his lips move. And another thing that is very important, you always hear there's no such thing as a dumb question. And I believe that, especially if you don't know anything about what you're learning. So I encourage anyone out there who's going to become a truck driver or in CDL school or any school or anything you learn new, ask questions. So I didn't come in there with the mindset of I know it all and trying to teach the class as a student. So the first thing I would say which helped me pass the test on my first try is having a student mindset. That's asking questions, listening, hands-on, and studying. So that's the very first thing. So I would suggest come to school with a student mindset and listen and ask questions. And also, whenever you have the time with your peers, go over what you learn. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would suggest in school is if they give you homework, do the homework. I know it's long days, and after school, kind of just tired and worn out, but push through it and do the homework. So specifically for the CDL test, there's apps that you can use and download them on your app store on whatever kind of phone you have, your iPhone or your Android or whatever. Some of these apps that I like to use are these CDL apps. I'm gonna post a picture of them right here. There's a couple different ones, but my favorite one is the red CDL prep app. There's two red ones, but my favorite one is the red one with the picture of the United States with a road leading up to it. I'm gonna put a picture of it somewhere around here. I found this one very helpful. But one of the main things is to do your homework, listen, and study. Now, like I said, some people have different ways of learning. Now, in particular, I'm in Louisiana. So one thing that I did do, that we're living in the information age where YouTube is basically a college in your pocket. So what I did was I specifically YouTube searched CDL Class A permit test, Louisiana. I found a video where it wasn't pleasant to listen to because it was a robotic woman's voice actually going over the test. I believe it to be the test. And I listened to that after I got off of school. Even sometimes when I fell asleep listening to it. So even if I didn't know the answers, it seemed that the answers to certain questions, be it on air brakes, combination vehicles, or even general knowledge, was burned into my subconscious mind. So whenever I did see the answer, the question, I somehow knew the answer. So that's another top trick or study method that I use, which helped me pass the CDLA permit test on my very first try. Another thing that you want to do is make sure you're getting proper sleep and at least some exercise. I know in this field of work and studying, it's hard to get exercise and the hours are long. So I suggest, if you're in school, I live on campus, so thankfully my class is right there, so I can make it to there on time. I get off of school, I come home, I eat, hang out with my dog, and then do some studying, make videos, and I go to sleep. So I suggest that you find yourself a routine, especially during school time, and don't party, drink, or whatnot. Just try to do the right thing to have your body and mind focused to where you can put energy into passing your test. So that's another tip that I recommend. I've done research on how to pass and tips on how to pass your CDL permit test, and a lot of them were saying read each question through and through, and if you don't know the answer, hit the skip button and come back to it later. So I went to the DMV with that in my mindset. But like I said, this field of work and life in general is unpredictable. So when I get there to take the test, there was no skip button. You had to answer the question there and on the spot. So what I did was, they gave us the test. It was 3 parts, and you can type in your code on which one you want to take first. General knowledge is 50 questions. Combination vehicle is 25 questions, and air brakes was 25 questions. So what I did was, I was most comfortable with air brakes, second most comfortable with combination, and the hardest one for me probably was general knowledge. So what I did was, I picked the one that I was most comfortable with. Instead of wanting to go and knock out the 50 question one first, I figured if I take the one that I'm comfortable with first, the 25 question air brakes test, take that one first and actually mold myself into reading the question and each individual answer, and then go back and read the question and the answer that I know to be correct, and then I press that button and then next, and I will do that for each in every question. It did take some time, but one shot, one kill. I got it done one shot. After I did that one, I passed that one comfortably, and I went into the next test, which was combinations. Did the same process. Read each question, each individual answer. Some of them will eliminate themselves, the process of elimination, and then I click on the answer after I read it with the question and the answer that I know to be true. Hit the button next, for there was no skip button. So that gave me boosted my confidence in test taking. And also when I got to general knowledge, the one that I wasn't as confident on, but I believed that I was going to pass it, when I got to the question that I knew that I did not know, I read the question, read each individual answer, and then with the question, and let one or two eliminate themselves, giving you a better chance of getting the answer correct. Now, some of the answers I've seen, I've never seen before, but during the process of elimination and reading the question and the answer, each individual answer along with the question, which does take some time, significantly improves your chance of getting the answer correct. So that's my tips on passing the CDL permit on your first try. Study, ask questions, listen, go over questions with your classmates when you do have the time. Study on your off time. Focus that energy into that test. Get some proper sleep, exercise, eat right. The night before, get some proper sleep, and whenever you go in to take a test, go in with confidence that you're going to pass the test, and you will pass the test. Just read each individual question and each individual answer. Even though you know the right answer first, I would read each answer and do the process of elimination on every individual one, even the ones you know to be right. So whenever you get to the ones that you don't know, you can still have that process of elimination, increasing your chances of getting the correct answer. So if this video helps, or you have any tips on CDL test taking or any other tips, leave them in the comments. I'll reply to you. Subscribe to this channel, like and share. This is Josh Wright, and good luck on them road tests.